Okay, YouTube. I just wanted to make another video and kind of touch base with y'all. I haven't been able to make as many videos as I would like, and I've got an iPad mini, and this video is being made with the front-facing camera of an iPad mini. Few things. Guns. I think y'all kind of figure out where I am with the guns. I think that the proper channel for gun sales in this country should be potential buyer walks to a gun seller, says, "Hey, I like that gun. How much is it?" $500. Here's $500, and then the gun seller, "Here's your gun," and that's it. There shouldn't be any documentation or records of it at all. Obama, we've just seen a picture released of Obama shooting skeet. I don't, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. It looked kind of photoshopped to me. The picture quality was pretty rough. Whether he did or not, that doesn't mean he's a sportsman. And the Second Amendment doesn't have anything to do with sportsmen or sporting or hunting. It's not even mentioned in our documents there. We've seen quite a few deaths here in the firearms community. Chris Kyle, the FPS Russia gun guy, forgive me for not knowing the names, Noveski. Does anybody else think that's kind of fishy? I don't know. I guess we'll find out more about some of this as things go. Obama's talking points at the inauguration were scary. Obama's executive orders related to gun violence were scary. We're seeing our nation stripped of individual liberty, of our God-given rights from the Bill of Rights there. This may be associated with the fact that God is being legislated out of our lives. Without God, then who gave us the Bill of Rights? A bunch of old dead patriots. Kind of hard to defend that. That's just my thoughts. I'm not particularly a religious person, but one could make an argument in that to that effect. I've heard arguments that the Second Amendment is comparable to the First Amendment, and we've got limits on the First Amendment. And people say, well, you can't run into a theater and yell, "Fire!" if there's no fire. And hey, that's a good point. And they say, well, and so that's the reason that we should have registration of firearms, bans on capacity of ammunition magazines, bans on certain style of rifles. And that's interesting because it's already illegal to kill somebody. Same way it's illegal to incite mass chaos in a movie theater or a public place by yelling fire if there's no fire. So murder's illegal, theft is illegal. Lots of gun laws have been broken here with all the deaths and killings. Having said that, their argument about the First Amendment, it's not at all like yelling fire in a theater. Not even murder. I mean, that doesn't even come close in comparison. What we're really looking at is if the government said, y'all remember that SOPA deal? Internet's not free. The government can censor the internet. Remember how we all got together as an internet community, and young people, old people alike, and stood and said, you know what? That ain't gonna fly. And we won. That's what we're seeing here. This is a civil liberties. This is a civil rights issue. Okay? It would be like the government saying all the internet websites and all the content online as of today, it's okay. But any internet websites or information that goes against what the government says is true, well, you can't make any more posts on those sites. Or, all the Playboy magazines that you have from the 90s and the 2000s, you can keep those, but you can't get any more. And you can get certain kinds, but they have to have certain clothing on, and you can only purchase them if you're registered purchaser of those types of magazines, and you don't let children see them, or something like that. I'd imagine most people that subscribe to a magazine such as Playboy, which I do not, would not let them let children see them, and it's probably not going to harm children. Just like I have several guns in the gun safe that have never killed anybody. In fact, I don't think any of the guns I own have ever killed anybody, even before I own them. Some of them are used. Okay. So there's the First Amendment, Second Amendment argument, and it just goes all over me. I don't even, it makes absolutely no sense. So guys, you know, like the video, share it. We need to get together. I'd encourage anybody that has voted Republican or Independent in the past to do some research on the Libertarian Party. Their ticket is really interesting, and I think that freedom-loving, God-fearing Americans should get in line with the Libertarian Party, because I think the Republican Party is maybe not lost, maybe not confused, but maybe I don't line up with their ideology on things too much. We've watched Congress do some really crazy things. We've watched the Senate do some even crazier things. You know, we need to start holding our representatives accountable, because they're not representing us. They're representing their own interest. And, you know, so there's my views on that deal. You know, my line in the sand is registration, NFA, that kind of deal. I'm not registering any of my rifles. I'm not fingerprinting. I'm not turning them into the government. We're not gonna do that. Not in my household. I've talked to several law enforcement officers in the area. I'm down here in East Texas, and they seem to kind of parrot that sentiment. So, God bless them. And you know, if you are in service to our government, our state, or our local community, and you've taken a pledge to defend the Constitution of the United States of America, you need to keep that oath. And oathkeepers.com, I believe, good website. Check it out. I'd hate to see anything. I'd really hate to see this progress. I've heard a lot of scary things. I've seen a lot of crazy things on the news. I just don't. I don't want to see any more of my civil liberties stripped away. We've made so much progress in the gun community. Even Chicago now is going to have to allow some sort of permit to carry guns. Now, one thing that's interesting, we're the freest nation in the world, governed by the people, for the people, and you can't even, a law-abiding citizen can't even carry a gun in our nation's capital. What the fuck? That's all I got.